I do just think that we have every right to tell our story. And your version of a story is valid and has honesty to it, whether or not the other person or other people saw it the same way. It's me, your pen friend, beaming into your face from my home attic studio, the Launchpad in Nottingham, UK. I just spent an hour in the company of some absolutely brilliant, supportive music fans for my very first Tea and Empathy live stream. Oh, Douglas, great question. Have you ever gone back and rewritten or regretted a lyric as you feel you overshared? Not because I overshared, but I changed the lyric in... Is it in Slow Puncture? Because it was rubbish. And that was a song I do slightly regret writing the verse lyrics or finishing the verse lyrics the morning of the day I was having to sing them, because it was like the end of the album recording for Disarm. I regret that I hadn't spent more time in the 2 years beforehand coming up with something better. I just changed it. And no one seems to have noticed. That's good. And in terms of oversharing, no. I think it might feel like you're oversharing, but it wouldn't come across that way most of the time. It might come across that way to a person who was also present at the thing you're sharing about, and they might not like it, but that's a totally different thing, isn't it? And I think that when you're writing songs, if it's in reference or relation to your version of a story that has someone else involved in it, probably going to feel weird about that the first few times. And I can't say, honestly, that if someone came up to me and said, that song's about me, isn't it? You basically took what I said to you and put it in a song, that I wouldn't be blushing and I want to get out of that situation. I don't think I would put things people literally said to me in a song anymore, but I have done it. I don't regret it because that was just where I was at with my songwriting at the time. I do just think that we have every right to tell our story. That's the whole point. And your version of a story, or your version of a thing that happened, an event that happened, is valid and has honesty to it, whether or not the other person or other people saw it the same way. Memory is really fallible, isn't it? But it is tricky. I mean, I've written about traumatic events. I write about some sort of traumatic events when I'm telling people about what the songs are about. I shared something the other day with the whole mailing list about something that really shaped my early life, which was my university friend was murdered, and it was horrendous and it was really traumatic. And I had a breakup just afterwards, like a week or two afterwards, someone I'd been with for 4 years, and then had to move flat, had no money, had to move flat, moved in with some friends, went out with someone else, they broke up with me. Like, it's just a really bad year. Like 2004 was shit. Writing about sad things has always helped me get over the sad thing. It's like, I don't want to say it's like free therapy and make a joke, because therapy is really important if you need therapy, or if you are open to that, if you can afford it, that is so valuable. And I think that if you're going to dredge up very traumatic things from your past, it's worth having some support from friends or family, or maybe not friends and family, maybe just from a licensed professional. But I think that writing in general is very good for working through what your feelings are. As an example, this is my recording notebook. Yesterday, I didn't feel like doing any recording and I couldn't work out why, and I had this sort of general feeling that I'd never finish this record, and if I did, no one would ever listen to it, and blah, 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 all that crap, right? So what I did was I sat down here and I wrote some stuff down. Tuesday the 20th of August, day 21. I am despairing of being able to finish this in time for September mixing. I have found the last few days something, scribble, completely exhausting and impossible to even consider doing anything to get me towards this goal. But I am here now. All I can do is try. And then I started making a plan. I have 4 full days this week, 4 full days next week, 12 songs, blah, blah, blah. I figured it out, like wrote down what times I was going to do things. And then I felt okay again. Writing helps. So I just generally think you're fine. Just give it a try. Write it down. You'll figure it out. Bolden the Doodleful says, I just read a book where an author had put a story in a this sucks pile. His nephew read it decades later and told him it was worth continuing now. I like that. Same happened to Stephen King with Carrie, but luckily his wife took the paper out of the dustbin, read it and said, there's something in this, you should continue this story. So I just think we're not the best at knowing if what we've done is any good. Martha Graham said, it is not your business to determine how good it is your business to keep it yours, clearly and directly, to keep the channel open. We are not good at knowing if what we've made is any good, especially when we've just made it. I was recording all the bass in the last couple of weeks, and there was one song I just thought, oh, this is awful. It's not even in time. It is in time, but I couldn't hear that it was in time or that it was any good. But I thought I just have to finish it because my job today is finish this bass line so I can move on to the next thing. I listened to it today and it's one of my favourite things on the record. And it's only just our ears get tired, our brain gets tired, our body gets tired. Maybe we need our dinner. Maybe we haven't had enough water. Maybe we need to go outside or do something else for a while. We cannot analyse in the moment if the thing we've made is any good. I remember recording the vocals for Dispensable Body, which is on Exotic Monsters, singing and singing and singing, just thinking, this is the worst singing I've ever done in my life, but I have to finish this because otherwise I can't get it mixed. It's a similar situation that I'm in right now. And it's some of the best singing I've ever done. Shape of a human, born on a thunderclap, words in a diary, but especially singing, you're inside your head. The sound's coming from here, that way. My ears would need to be here, going that way, to hear it anyway. And you're singing into a microphone with headphones in and like a weird mix of the stuff that you're singing along to that's not finished either. So it's not like the version that you'll hear at the end. It's not done yet, you know. Of course it's going to sound a bit weird. Even if you don't sing, you'll know this feeling, I think. When you have a head cold and you feel like your voice sounds weird and everything's like muffled and your ears feel funny. Like it's kind of like that feeling is what I'm talking about. And I just think we need to just get on with it, honestly. Like the answer to all these questions is just do the thing. Cast off your worries and do it. In as much time or as little time as you have available. But it bears repeating, doesn't it? Because I think about this stuff all the time. I have to listen to so many podcasts and read articles and watch videos on YouTube reminding me, like encouraging me to do the thing I already do. Hence me doing this, because I know how much I need that thing, and I just thought it might be good for others to have that thing too. I hope it is good. Just breathe.